All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and we are now into the heat because we have two of the best fighters in the middleweights division, not the 160-pound division, but I mean, you know, the middle-sized human beings weight classes, which I say goes from about 147 pounds all the way up to 168 pounds, or really light and heavyweight. But let's just say from 160 to about all the way down to about 147. So now we have one of the best 147-pound champions of the century. Terence Crawford is going to be moving up to 154 and fighting Israel Madmarov on a very solid card. And then, but before that, you have the return of Jarron Boots Ennis, who is very, very much on the heels of Terence Crawford and looking to get him in the ring and beat a dude that knocks him off the top of the chart, of the rankings for pound rankings, and just, you know, the general respect for people that people have for the number one fighter in boxing. And I think it's a large number, not monetarily, even though he ain't bad, not monetarily either. Monetarily, but not just monetarily, but also, but, you know, talking just the actual nuts and bolts of the game and being the best fighter. You know, Terence Crawford is probably that dude. But Jarron Ennis got something to say to him. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division and the 154-pound division, where Jarron Ennis lets it be known that he is on the hunt for Terence Crawford, and that is a fight that I definitely think we need to continue to keep our eyes on. Aside from all the, you know, the comedy show going on at 140 pounds with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, and also the very, very lackluster fight from Shakur Stevenson, which poured some water on a potential fight with Gervonta Davis and Lomachenko winner. Let's get on to these fights that is going to be coming up. This Saturday, I do believe it's this Saturday on July 13th, will be the fight with Jarron Boots Ennis and David Avanesyan. This is going to be a fight that is going to be a comparison, going to allow for a comparison, whether good or bad, between Jarron and Terence Crawford, because this is, I do believe, their first or their second common opponent. I think it's their second common opponent. Thomas Delorme, I do believe, is Terence Crawford had beaten Thomas Delorme. And so is Jarron Ennis. This is the second. I don't think that there's any other ones, but this is the second common opponent. This one being David Avanesyan. David Avanesyan is a fighter, an Armenian fighter who, I'm not sure if he's from Armenia, but I believe he is Armenian. An Armenian fighter that Terence Crawford beat on a card on BLK Prime's network when he pulled out of a fight, or the negotiations for a fight with Errol Spence Jr. the first time around. So Terence Crawford wound up knocking him out after this crazy circumstance took place with his gloves, where his glove exploded and had people calling him all kind of cheats, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Now I'm not 100% behind that all the stuff with Victor Conti, and because Terence is a snack athlete, and Chris and Victor Conti is who he is, that means something about Terence. I'm not with that, but them gloves busting, that's legitimate gank. That was some legitimate janky stuff. So criticism was duly noted, was duly deserved in that one, because that's just, I mean, if it was inadvertent, and it probably was inadvertent. I don't have a problem with that. It's very, very least unprofessional. But whatever the case is, Jarron Ennis is going to be fighting David Avanesyan. And so you're looking to see if Jaron Ennis gets David Avanesyan out of there faster or just dominates him in a way that makes him look like he outperformed Terence Crawford, then you're going to say, okay, well, what do they look like against the same opponent? What does this mean for a fight between the two of them? Because many people believe that Jarron Ennis is, definitely the guy that around those weight classes that Terence Crawford will fool around and lose to. And there's definitely a question, very, very solid questions about whether or not Terence Crawford really wants to fight Jarron Ennis and what the real reason behind him not wanting to fight Jarron Ennis is. Whether it's one thing or a combination of things, whether it is this guy's young and I don't know about that. He may be trouble. I may lose to him. He's very big. He's tall. He can do a lot of different things in the ring. I don't know, man. Or whether it's that truly there's not enough money in it or not, right? Or I don't buy that Jarron Ennis doesn't want the fight. I think Jarron at 30 fights that he has, being 27 years old, 26, 27 years old, he's right where he's supposed to be, man. He's in the prime of his game. And Terence Crawford, who is legitimately a smaller man, and is somebody that is 36 years old, has been around for 16 years as a professional and 40 fights. That now is if there's ever a time to get it, he's got to get it. But whatever the case is, man, one of those or other things, Terence Crawford, has not insisted on fighting him. Now, if it's the money thing, we'll see what happens, man, and see how well these two fights sell. And now the second fight, which is for Terence Crawford and Ismail Madmarov, that is another really good fight because this is Terence moving up to 154 pounds. And if he beats Madmarov, he's going to get a piece. I think Madmarov is for the WBA championship. And he'll also get a piece of the WBO and interim title with the WBO, which is on the line if he's able to beat Madmarov. Also, very, very good card. That's a real good card on that particular fight with Isa Cruz and Rayo Valenzuela. You got fighters like David Morrell on that card. You got Jared Big Baby. You got both Big Babies. I think you got Jared Anderson on that card, and you have Jarrell Big Baby Miller fighting somebody on that card. So yeah, that card should just be a lot of fun all the way around. But if depending on the performance of the fight, it looks like the fight in Philadelphia is going to do well. It looked like most of the tickets for that fight were already sold, provided that that's an exciting performance in Philly and it really electrifies the place. Hey man, you can. That money maybe actually get there for Terence to have that fight. And that fight, could be a changing of the guard, or it could come down to something kind of reminds me a little bit of Josh, but at a higher level, I do believe, of when Bernard Hopkins was the top pound for pound fighter in the world. And then you had Jermaine Taylor was coming up, but Hopkins was older, and you have Jermaine Taylor coming up, an undefeated fighter, knocking out a lot of dudes, really, really looking good, coming out of Arkansas. That fight wound up being a fight where Jermaine Taylor won the fight, but I think, and I was ringside for that fight, but I think was a fight that also might have ended or changed Jermaine Taylor because man, it was tough. But that kind of seems like the same type of fight, same type of air around Terence Crawford and Jarron Ennis. And that fight was a classic fight between the two of them. This one very well may be a classic fight as well. But anyway, just really glad both these guys are going to get back in the ring, one on the 13th and the other one on August 3rd. So this next Saturday for Jarron Ennis and David Avanesyan, and then the Madmarov fight 2 weeks after that. Man, can't ask for more. This is really good stuff in boxing. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.